Kimmy, I can hear you. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come on. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. You know it's summer. I live in Harlem, so the bikes are out. Good evening, good evening. When I do these videos, I always hope that like I don't even know if you call it a thumbnail, but the freeze frame picture isn't of me making a crazy face, because it's caught me numerous times making all types of faces. So hopefully they got a good one. But now I understand why like the news anchors, before they start they're just sitting there like this. They probably have the same issue. Good evening, good evening. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys can hear me. All right, so I'm gonna get started. This is just gonna be a casual chat. Hopefully, I mean, you know, you guys can put comments at the bottom. Maybe it'll turn into a rant, who knows? Depends on how it goes. So let me introduce myself. For those of you who don't already know me, I am Kimberly Nuke McLaurin. I am a member of Progressive Action. I am a shop steward. I'm a member of TWU Local 100. I am a train operator in the B division. I started in the A division, but now I'm in the B. This upcoming August will make 15 years on the job. Only worked one title, which is train operator, which I just said. Okay, so why am I here today? As the caption says, contract ballots, right? If you weren't aware, we are in the process of, I guess, well, the union is trying to get us to ratify this contract that's currently out. So we have a contract pending, right? So as of Friday, June 23rd, the ballots were supposed to be mailed out, right? Friday, June 23rd. Today is currently Wednesday, June 28th. So let's say it again. They were supposed to go out Friday, June 23rd, and today is now Wednesday, June 28th. Who has received their ballots? If you have received your ballot, please let me know. Because I'm sure someone, I haven't seen anyone post that they received their ballot. Maybe I missed it, maybe the algorithm. Oh, great. Are you in the city or are you outside of the city? DJ, I see you said you received yours. Do you mind telling me if you live within the 5? Okay, maybe. Oh, you're in New Jersey. I live within the 5 boroughs and I have not received my ballot. We normally get our mail in 2 days. And I think across America, we kind of get our mail within 2 days. Now, I know there was a Sunday in there, right? So I figured, okay, well, maybe them calling more than once. Well, anyway, sorry, my phone went off. And it's probably going to go off again because they're just sure I'm supposed to answer. But anyway, they have to wait. Most mail is delivered within 2 days, maybe 3 days tops. So if I was expecting to receive my ballot on Monday, Kimberly, you haven't received yours either? Have you received any ballots in the past? Yeah, okay, 3 days even. So maybe yesterday, today, what's that, Sinestera? Hope I'm not pronouncing it incorrectly. You would think you would received it already, like especially something like this. It's funny because I get my Amazon packages the next day and I get them whenever they say that they're coming. It says all they have to do is put it by our time cards. When you punch, you fill it out and hand it. see, that's another thing I would like to speak about. The amount of or lack of a variation as far as how we're able to vote. So in the past, we were actually able to do, it may not have been for a contract specifically, but I remember we were able to do call in voting. So I don't understand, again, in 2023, why we have this issue where we are only offered one form of submission for our ballots, which is mail-in ballot. And I remember asking a few times, like when I was on the executive board, and their excuse was, oh, it can be tampered with. But I'm like, in 2023, people have their credit cards on their phone. You do online banking. Everything is done digitally. So why aren't we stepping up our game as far as ballot voting is concerned? Like, if you're that scared, you can't really tamper with call-in ballots. Why don't you do, they had the call-in ballot where they do the prompts. And I literally just came back upstairs from checking my mailbox to see if it was there. So I gave them extra time, and no, it's not there. No ballot for you either? No, oh, they absolutely no. And the thing that's crazy is, not so crazy because we already know why, because we found out why. Like, I received the magazine publications every month or whenever they send them, the TWU publications. I received those on time, clockwork. Never have a problem receiving those. I don't think I've ever missed a publication. But when it comes to my ballots, I magically don't receive them, or they go to my previous address, which was over, let me see, like 14 years ago. It goes to my old address from 14 years ago, and luckily my mom lives there now, so I'm able to get my ballot if it goes there, which I think is crazy. So here's why we've like historically had issues receiving our ballots, if you're not aware. So what they do is, when they use, this is what they say they do, because it doesn't make any sense. This one doesn't make any sense either. So they said that for the publications, they use the service, they pay for a service with USPS where they send it to your most current address based on USPS, their database, right? But when it comes down to the balloting system, them sending out the ballots, they like to use whatever address they have on file, right? So here's where, okay, why are you doing that? Like, the publications, you can pretty much get that online, or they're not priority. So you would think that they would issue the ballots, which don't come every month or quarterly, via this USPS service, and maybe send the publication to the last known address. Why wouldn't you send the most pertinent one via the most efficient mailing service? Because it's intentional. Let's not play around. It has to be intentional, because why would you even have that as an option? So you're paying for this service for something to come quarterly, instead of paying for the service for your ballots, which may come every 3 years, or you might have something for election. So at most twice a year, and I'm being generous, twice a year you get this balloting service. You need this balloting service from AAA, and I'm being generous with that number. So, and then you also start having the issues that when you get your ballot, it's not for you. It's not for you. It's not for your department. I remember one year I received a ballot for a conductor. And so that means that she didn't receive her ballot and I didn't receive my ballot. And then we've also had this issue where when you call for a ballot, it doesn't arrive until after the voting is done. So let's talk about that too. So, okay, again, these are the key dates. We have June 23rd, which was past Friday. That's when the ballots were supposed to be mailed out. And then we have the next date, which is July 17th, which is the important date, because that's when they do the counting of the ballots. That's when they say that they count the last ballot they receive July 17th at 8:30, I believe the time is 8:30 a.m. and they do the counting at 10 a.m. Right? So if you haven't received your ballot, here's another date for you. They do not, and this is AAA, they do not want you to call for a replacement ballot, whether it's missing or damaged, until June 29th. So that's tomorrow, right? So we're losing time here. So they don't want you to call for one until June 29th. All right, let's say that's fair. Maybe, right? And also, the final day to call for a replacement ballot is July 12th. So you should be keeping note of these key dates. So we have June 29th, which is tomorrow. So if you don't receive your ballot by tomorrow, you should call AAA and notify them as to that you did not receive your ballot or your ballot is damaged. And then you have until July 12th. Please don't wait till the last minute. Please don't wait till the last minute. That's literally 5 days before they count the ballots. Do not wait till the last minute. If you have not received your ballot by June 29th, try to call as soon as possible. And this is another issue that they had, and hopefully they remedied it for this go round. When we weren't receiving our ballot for the election, I don't know if it was the last election or the one prior, they were call logged. Like they weren't receiving the calls because we were all knocking each other out because they were receiving so many calls. And another thing that also kills me is that we lose 2 days with the AAA because of the holiday. It seemed like our voting system or our voting thing always fall near a holiday. So we lose 2 days, which would be July 3rd and July 4th, because you cannot call on those days. So do not try to call them on those days. They are closed. And that's AAA. Those are people that actually handle our ballots and count our ballots. So, yeah. Oh, again, back to the ways you're able to vote. There's only the mail-in ballot. That's the only way. You cannot hand deliver your ballot. Why? No clue. But you cannot hand deliver your ballot. They are not accepting ballots that way. So you would think for people who are, and people being the administration, people who are, I'm looking at the comments while I'm talking to you guys, people who are so in support of this contract would ensure that the membership would receive their ballots. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. So yeah, about that, right? So I kind of jumped. So the last time I received my ballot at my old address, which was from 14 years ago, right? Now here's the kicker. I know for a fact that the union, because that's who you have to make sure I have your current address, have my current address. Because in order for you to run for office, which I did, you have to submit a whole new form with your information on it, including your address. So how are they still using my address from 14 years ago when I literally submitted a form with my current address, and I've been changed my address with them. So, but this is in addition to me changing my address with them. And not only that, I was receiving, when I was on the e-board, executive board, you get paid for those days. I was receiving pay stubs, right? So if I was receiving pay stubs, I doubt they were sending it through that same service at USPS. I think it was coming directly from the union. I was receiving pay stubs. Why did my ballot go to my old address? But back to what I was saying. So you're so sure about this contract and it's going to be great. Don't listen to the naysayers. Naysayers mostly likely us. Don't listen to the naysayers. They don't know what they're talking about. This contract is the best. Why aren't they sure about it? Why aren't they ensuring that the membership receive their ballots? And like we've been saying, if a contract is so amazing, like they're trying to tell the members, they're going around to depots and terminals and telling them how amazing this contract is. If it's so amazing, why are you doing so much to promote it? It should be seen. And they love this whole thing about, oh, there's no give backs, right? What did they really ask for? Like, go to the TWU Local 100 website and you'll see the list of demands. they didn't really ask for much of substance. Anything that we really, really need. Like, we need safety improvements. We need sick reform. We need discipline reform. We need livable wages. We need our night differential updated and appropriate to what we're making, and appropriate to the fact that we're now in 2023 and it has not changed in almost, I think, 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. We needed things like that. And they're saying there's no give back. You didn't ask for those things. You didn't ask for those things. So it's easy to say there's no give backs when you didn't ask for those things. There are some good things on the contract, I guess. Like, yes, it's nice that they improved on maternity leave, but as I keep commenting and probably spamming certain posts, this is something that we should have because every other state agency has it. So if you're paying these politicians, in particular Kathy Hochul, why did this even make it to the table? She should want to ensure that we have parity as far as maternity, paternity leave with the other state agencies. That should not even be a negotiation point. And then not only are we not keeping up with the rest of the state as far as maternity, paternity, we lost paid family leave because we got that on the last contract. So that is definitely a freaking give back. They were supposed to be in conversation with the MTA to roll out paid family leave, and they never did that. But guess who got paid family leave? The union. The actual union got paid family leave, but they did not ensure that we received paid family leave. So isn't that a kicker? Just like they give themselves these exuberant raises, but we have to settle for nickels and dimes. But they want us to vote yes. We should be happy with what they're laying in front of us. And again, I feel like I keep repeating myself. Why do we keep negotiating from a begging position? We are the ones that hold the power. We have the power of service, right? The pandemic, if not outside the pandemic, but the pandemic really drove it home. They need us. They need us to keep the city going. Not only the city, the country going. In the world market. We are an integral part of the financial world market. But they don't pay us like that. They don't think that we deserve it. And then the slap in the face is they think if they wave these mediocre bonuses in front of us that we're going to jump at that. Now don't get me wrong, I've heard people say, oh, well, they're going to give us cash. Well, I just know who's new here, because even when they give us our retro checks, those are like, you might as well just put it towards your pension, because it's like asking for that in cash. What are you going to buy? 2 burgers? Like, what are you really going to do with that money? So they say $3,000 and $1,000. What are you going to get out of that? Like $900 or something like that? It's going to be, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? I'd rather have the points they claim that it's making up for. I'd rather have that 0.3%, because they said, oh, the contract is worth, as far as wages, 9.8%, but it's actually 3 and 3.5, and then they included the bonuses. I'd rather have my next raise piggyback off of that 0.3%, if anything. But we should not be settling for less than 10. And I'm not even talking about, I mean, like, I want 10 each year. I want 10 each year. And you can say if you want to, oh, that's a lot. We are so far fucking behind. Excuse my language. We are so far behind. We are so far behind. And I think Just the fact that they are not even talking about hazard pay. Like, if you're not talking about hazard pay, pay me straight up then. Pay me straight up. Pay me straight up. Because as, what is he now? The Secretary Treasurer, Chiarello, he said, we haven't seen threes. I know some of you guys probably saw the video because Tramel had his Tuesday night call-in show, and he posted the video, Chiarello, during the Shopgate saying, we haven't seen threes in 15 years. Now, mind you, 15 years ago, when I came down here in 2008, when I came down here, that was the last year of Tucson, right? So that was almost 15. So we haven't seen threes because of this administration, basically. He just fully admitted to his guilt. We haven't seen threes since they've been in office. How is that even possible? And then it's like they did their negotiating so quickly. They were hoping that the other municipalities like and UFT and the NYPD and all of them, they were hoping that they finished with all their negotiations after we finished with ours. But theirs started coming in first, and they got way better stuff than we did. Way better percentages, way better bonuses, way better perks. So all that about, oh, well, you know, this is the best we can get. No one's getting better than this. People are getting better than this. Way better. And people who were able to stay home during the pandemic. People who, from agencies who didn't lose over 120 people. And we can't even hold down hazard pay. We can't even get hazard pay. We can't even get wages that actually keep up with inflation or cost of living. Because we're behind because we didn't get it the last 2 contracts. Last 3 contracts we didn't get it. Do you remember those numbers? Zeros, ones, 1.5. The last one was 2. What was it? 2? I think the most was 2.5 or 2.2. Anyone remember? And then in that same show that Tramel did yesterday, he posted a clip from Donald Yates, which is he's the chair of, he's the vice president of MAPSTOA, which is buses for, bus people. I know y'all like Surface. Let's get the term right. For Surface in Manhattan and the Bronx. Buses. He said most of the membership is surviving off overtime. This is coming from the VP of MAPSTOA. Most of the membership is surviving off of overtime. Why do you think that is? Because you guys aren't giving us livable wages. And if you know that, why aren't you back at the negotiation table? Why are you telling us to take these pennies, nickels, and dimes when you know most of the membership is surviving off of overtime? And it's not like this is some job you can just pick up off the street and just do it. We have been trained to do this job. We have been conditioned to do this job. We have sacrificed our bodies, our minds, our families, our health to do this job. And you're telling me with your whole chest that you know that most of the membership is surviving off of overtime. That is ridiculous. That's not how it's supposed to be. Overtime is supposed to be when you want a few extra dollars. You want to save up for that family trip. A big family trip. Because you should be able to afford a family trip without saving for the whole freaking year to take your family somewhere. Overtime is when you know what, you want to I want to buy another property or something. I want to do investment property. Let me do a little overtime. It's supposed to be for luxuries, not food, not housing. We should not be living off of overtime. Or am I wrong? Yeah. Philip, I see you there. Nothing feels right. It feels rushed. Absolutely. What is the hurry? Why are they so scared to be out of contract? We've done it before. SSSA done it before. The police department, they go years being out of contract because they trying to get their numbers together. Why are we always taking the first thing that come across the table? And if we're not doing that, then they're giving us this bogus freaking offer from the MTA to scare us into taking the next one. And then they want to scare us away from arbitration as if arbitration is the worst thing in the world. Compared to what they're getting, I completely would trust a whole outside entity to see that this is not enough. We're not safe. People are kicking in doors. People are shooting people. And I'm talking about our co-workers. Stabbings. And they can't protect us nor pay us. And I remember, was it Samuelson that said, if they can't protect us, they need to pay us. But they're not getting either one. They're not doing it. They're not securing anything for us. They're definitely not securing the bag. And they're definitely not securing the premises and our property and our health. And then on top of that, the kicker is people dedicate 25, 30, 35, 40 years to this job. And now they want to offer this subpar health care when you retire. Now they're saying it's better than what they offer the state, right? But I think the biggest issue, because even the comptroller is having issue with this, the state comptroller is having issues with it, is the denial rate. And I think currently they're doing an inquiry to see if the denial is for cases or treatments that are over a certain price point. So if, say, for instance, you needed like some type of transplant or something like that, and they go, oh, well, that's going to cost $100K. Oh, no, I don't think you really need that. You can take medication for that. Why are we letting these insurance companies outrank the doctors that say we need transplant and chemotherapy and all of those things? So we were already aware that the MTA is not the best when it comes to company morale. Well, at least not with the rank and file. I don't know how they do it, give it up in corporate. But with the rank and file, they show time and time again, they love to lowball us. But that's a business. Can we get the door? And that's how they run their business. But what's supposed to be the protection between us and them? The union administration. But they're not doing their jobs. But they're doing the MTA's bidding and ensuring that we come to work. That's their priority. Us coming to work. Coming to work where we don't feel safe. Coming to work where we get hurt. Coming to work where, hi mom, my mom's here. Coming to work for a company that doesn't appreciate us nor make sure that we're good. Coming to work where there's no penalty when they don't push for these I'm not supposed to use the word crazy, but they're crazy because they're attacking the members. They don't go to court to ensure that these people get time. Because I still remember the guy who stabbed up our brother Denell Jenkins. They released him. They did some like psychiatric thing. I guess he had to go to some meetings or see a psychologist or something like that. But ultimately, he didn't serve any time in jail. Not real time. And I mean, I remember like I was there at the hospital. I mean, like he could have killed him. It was chunks of meat hanging off his back. And this guy is just out in the world somewhere. But they want us to vote yes. I also like to speak on the people that keep saying, oh, well, and this is my department, RTO. Oh, buses always voted in, and MOW are going to vote it in, and CD. What does that have to do with you? You do your due diligence. You do your part. That's an excuse, and that's an excuse. That's laziness. That's laziness. And they're not happy with it either. There's plenty of people in MAPSTO are complaining, plenty of people in TA Surface complaining, MOW's complaining, CED is complaining. So who are these people that you believe is just going to vote yes? So my thing is, even if you felt that way, right? Even if you felt that these other departments were going to vote yes, how does it hurt you to vote no? What do you have to lose? Worst case scenario is it passes. So why not give it a shot and vote no? Because this is a trash ass contract. And if we keep letting these contracts pass, they're going to keep offering us trash ass contracts. And I need you to really pay close attention. So I talk about this often, or when I do these videos, about employee retention. MTA has a hard time retaining workers. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they have a hard time keeping people on the job? It's not because they're firing them. That's not it. They're leaving. People are leaving. And I'm not talking about retirement. I mean, they come in, they go through the training, they see the type of BS we go through, and they look at their check and say, this is not worth it. This is not worth the stress. This is not worth the missed birthdays. This is not worth my hip replacement. This is not worth the bad elbow, the bad wrist, the bad vision, the bad hearing. It's not worth it. It's not worth the hypertension. It's not worth the cancer. Like, I just saw on Facebook that we lost another brother, Kenny from Utica in the A division, not Utica in the B division. He was a switchman. Lovely person. We just lost him recently. Oh. So, don't mind her. But they don't take care of us, and then we don't take care of ourselves either, because, and that's mentally and physically, because when you rush to eat your lunch, or mom doing the video, when you rush to eat your lunch and you rush to get on the train or onto the bus, you're doing a disservice to your body. You're not digesting it well. You're not absorbing the nutrients like how you're supposed to. And also, the stress of the job opens the door for other health issues. Like, we really have to take into account stress is the gateway to other health issues. And this job is stressful. The first thing they tell you in school car is that, soon as you get hired, the MTA spends the rest of your career trying to fire you, which is actually kind of spot on, because it's true. That's what they do. Everything they tell, if you do this, you're going to get fired. If you do that, you're going to get fired. You do this, you're going to get fired. How do you feel coming to work? Your body's tense. And then, like they did a study, just living in a city alone, we're already naturally tense. So now you're worrying about EDPs. You're worrying about disgruntled customers. You're worrying about these freaking jerks of TSSs and superintendents. You have this constant stress on your brain. And then, I still remember in the meeting they called us fat. But you don't want to give us time to eat lunch. So we're grabbing fast food. And again, stress adds to those things. When you're stressed, you can't metabolize well. Like, these are things that they don't keep into account. But then they want people to stay here and work here. They want you to work in these conditions, but they don't want to pay you. They want you to work like a coal miner, but they don't want to pay you hazard pay. They want you to inhale the silica, the freaking asbestos, the steel dust, and they don't want to give you hazard pay, and the union administration is okay with that. Right, welcome to the MTA. Exactly, but these new people that are coming on, they're not dealing with it. Like, we're already here, we're already vested, a lot of us, we're already in this. And then some people this is a party, they feel like this is the best that they can get. And listen, I know there's quite a few people here that feel like that, but if you have low self-esteem or you feel like you didn't do enough and this is the best you can get, don't stand in the way of people who feel like they deserve better. Because I believe you deserve better, and I know I deserve better. So if you feel like this is the best you can do, just sit down and be quiet. Because if that's the case, you're going to get the contract that you want at the end of the day. Whether we work hard to improve it or you get exactly what they're offering you. You're still going to get what you want. Get the freak out the way and sit down. Let the fighters fight. Don't stand in the way. Like, if you want to be lazy with it, be lazy all the way with it and sit on the side and watch us do work. Yes, absolutely. The mental toll. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then they have the nerve to talk about, have you guys received those, like those placards, the little brochures for wellness? Like, oh, they're telling you, sign up for this wellness app. And then we're negotiating healthcare with the company that pretty much contributes to most of our ailments. They should be taking care of, we should have premium health care. They're talking about air quality. Like, I received these texts about air quality. We always have an issue with air quality. Why don't they want to run the tests that they need to run? I think they do, they just don't release the information. But why don't they run these tests? Because they already know what it is. This job is literally killing us slowly. When you get the seniority, try your hardest to get outside. That's the only thing I can recommend. When you get the seniority, if you can, get a job, at least a run that's outside. And this is for my RTO people. Just get a job that's outside. Stations, try to get a job that's outside. But anyway, this was about the ballots. Whenever I receive mine, I'll put it online. You can, if you have yours, and I've seen this before, people be so upset about the contract that they'll write hell no all over the ballot, disqualified. Do not mark anything outside of the intended box. Do not mark anywhere on the ballot outside of the intended box. So when I get mine, or probably when Tramel gets his, someone would do a video showing exactly how to fill out your ballot. Once again, the dates are, tomorrow is the first acceptable day to call for replacement ballot. That's June 29th. The final day to call for replacement ballot is July 12th. Do not wait until July 12th. And they're counting the ballots July 17th at 10 a.m. The number, I'm going to put it in the chat after I finish. The number for replacement ballot, I have to find a little meme with Deadpool on it. The number for the AAA for a replacement or missing ballot, a damaged or missing ballot is 1-800-529-5218. That's 1-800-529-5218. And they're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They will be closed July 4th and 3rd for the holiday. My family's just so rude. I'm just gonna end it right here because these people here. Any questions, just put them in the comment section of the video. Please share this out. If they come to your terminal or your depot, ask them questions. If you don't know what to ask, watch these videos and ask them, and watch them squirm. Watch them give you bogus answers because they know for a fact you were not fact checked. Be safe, everyone. Call your strong friends. Check on your people. Be safe. Have a good night.